If you're the victim of debt collector harassment from Encore Capital Group or Midland Credit Management, Lemberg & Associates will fight for your rights to deliver the cash compensation you may be entitled to. We make lawbreakers pay. Abusive collectors are liable for up to $1,000 in damages plus court costs and attorney's fees. Reclaim your life, gain peace of mind, and stop law-breaking debt collectors in their tracks. Midland Credit Management is a subsidiary of Encore Capital Group, which purchases other companies' debts for pennies on the dollar in order to try to collect whatever portion of that debt they can. By collecting just a small percentage of this purchased debt, Midland Credit Management can make tremendous profits. A third-party debt collector will typically collect on behalf of the original creditor. A debt buyer purchases huge blocks of debt from creditors who have written off the money as uncollectible, or from other debt buyers who were unable to collect on the accounts. Sometimes, and whether or not this is true for Midland collection agencies, this means that the records for the accounts are missing information, such as the original creditor's name, identifying information about the consumer who owes the debt, and so forth. That can result in a case of mistaken identity. This means that a debt collector, whether an MCM debt collector or someone from another agency, can go after a person who has a similar name to the consumer, who now lives where the consumer once lived, or who has a phone number that once belonged to the person who owed the money. If Midland Collections makes harassing phone calls, it's important to be prepared. Being an informed consumer will help you stop Midland Debt Collections calls, and knowing your rights will help you fight any practices that violate the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Most consumers don't know that it's relatively easy to stop collection calls. You simply have to write and tell the debt collection agency to stop contacting you. By law, if you've written a letter asking Midland Credit Management to cease communication with you, Midland Credit Management cannot contact you again in writing, by phone, or by email except to inform you that they've stopped trying to collect the debt or if they have decided to pursue a case against you in court. Remember that the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act protects your rights, but it doesn't erase your debt. You're still responsible to pay what you owe, but the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act provides a clear line that separates ethical behavior from unethical and illegal behavior. The legal team at Lemberg & Associates is committed to holding debt collectors accountable and will fight for your rights under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act.